Hot 10. Huh. Yeah, dude, use that shit, bro.
This week, had a couple things happen this week. I mean, Tuesday came and went, and no indictment for
the Don?
For old Donnie. But apparently, grand jury convened this week. Today, I believe they met, finally. Because they don't meet on Tuesdays. And
who knew?
Who knew, right? Not the DA from
the area. Yeah,
from the area. He had no idea. How do you not know your court don't do grand juries that day? Big dummy. So
I keep saying it. It's like every episode I say it at least once. Like political theater.
Yeah.
So it's just entertainment.
Yeah, I mean,
these people have the ability and resources to greatly impact every life on Earth, and they're just doing dumb shit just to do dumb shit.
Yeah, it's pure insanity when you think about it. I mean, because I'm not sure about the election laws that cover that. Like you gotta be, if you're convicted.
I'd have to do a dive into it.
Something, right?
So I mean, there's no.
So I'm sure the whole point of all of this is to get him out of the running. So.
Well, that's the thing. I'd have to really look into it. Because as far as I know, the only thing limiting who can run for president is age. You have to be 35.
Yeah, and alive.
Yeah.
Unless you're from Pennsylvania, in which case you can still win an election and be dead and still win. So, or mentally brain dead.
Who's that?
On the last primaries, that.
The senator.
Mm-hmm.
What's his name? Isn't he dead now or brain dead?
No, that's another one. They elected two dummies. One that's dead and one that's went through a stroke. So Tony DeLuca.
Yeah.
He had died and he still won.
I remember that.
So.
Yeah.
And then that big oaf-looking dude.
Yeah. That's the one I thought you were talking about. He's been in the hospital for the past couple of weeks now, hasn't he?
Mm-hmm. They don't know where he is. He hasn't. But yeah, he was apparently signing bills and stuff, even though he was indisposed.
Yeah.
So.
And giving statements.
Yeah.
From his coma.
Fetterman.
I do support fracking.
But I'm for fracking, and I support fracking.
I support fracking, and I do support fracking.
Have you heard that statement?
Yeah, I remember watching
that. Like, what's your stance on fracking? I love it, the fracking. I was like, bro, come on, man. Like, he had no... He
had brain damage.
Yeah, he was like, I love the fracking. I love the fracking. Frack. Frack it all. That guy's been in the hospital, and I wish him the best, man. But it's one of those things like they told you that this dude was no good. He was not physically fit for the job. Like he's completely out of it. He had problems understanding conversations.
Yeah.
Like he needed a computer and AI assist and all this other stuff to just get him through a regular conversation.
Yeah.
He did that interview, and they chastised that lady that did the interview because it exposed all of his issues, all of his mental issues, and his cognitive problems, and yeah. So, but yeah, Fetterman is he's apparently still. Allegedly still alive or still something. I mean, I'm sure we would have heard something if he had passed, but because he still owned the seat, so
yeah.
But that's all they really wanted. They didn't want anything else from that guy, just a seat. So, But apparently, the grand jury convened on Thursday, and of course CNBC trying to cover everything up. Unexpected day off. They don't convene on Tuesdays. It's not unexpected. But they're saying that they're trying to dig into that Stormy Daniels hush money stuff. But
that's the thing. That case is already brought back to court. Found that she and her lawyer were at fault. You know what happened to her lawyer, right?
no.
He's in the pen. He got sentenced to 15 years federal.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Damn.
She had to pay back Donald. Like from what I understand, it was a settlement out of court for $100,000. Paid her, done with the deal. And it came out like, they had an affair and blah 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 blah. And that came out during his running for office.
Right.
And so the $100,000 went out. Deal done, whatever, and the news came out about it, and came all this stuff, didn't stop him from being elected. And now they're trying to go back and say, fraud or whatever, or using campaign money to pay off, to pay hush money. Mm-hmm. And what happened after the $100,000 was paid initially was they brought the case back because there was a lot of evidence left out of the case, and evidence that showed that they'd never had an interaction like that. It wasn't hush money, it was just settlement monies to get rid of the case because he was campaigning at the time and didn't have time to address the case and campaign. So paid the $100,000, they brought the case back to court and found that the lawyer was actually a shiesty bastard. And they ended up indicting him and convicting him, and I would have to look up the charges to actually tell you what the charges were. But he's doing 15 years in a federal pen now. And she had to pay Donald back $300,000 for lawyers' fees and wasting everybody's time.
Damn.
So that's the case that they pick?
Yes.
The case that he's already won?
Yes.
Foolish.
Yes.
And they're still trying to do that thing of disqualifying Trump from office for this for the January 6th thing. And they're gonna have a hell of a time proving that one. So the whole gist behind that argument is the 14th Amendment, Section 3. Are you familiar?
No.
So the 14th Amendment, equal protection under the law.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But Section 3 has specific language to it to prevent certain people for holding office. And it was written right after the Civil War. So it mentions in there rebellion or let me get the actual text for you. Here you go. No person shall be a senator or representative in Congress or elector of president and vice president or hold any office, civil or military, under the United States or under any state who, having previously taken an oath as a member of Congress or as an officer of the United States or as a member of any state legislature or as an executive or judicial officer of any state to support the Constitution of the United States shall have engaged in insurrection or rebellion against the same or given aid or comfort to the enemies thereof. They were talking about Confederate veterans holding office. People that were part of the Confederate government, people that were part of the Confederate military. Because the thing is, look back in history, where did most of the officers of the Confederate Army come from? West Point.
West Point.
Most of the officers of the Confederate Army were Union officers.
Right.
That switched sides. So.
Yeah. So Michael Avenatti,
Who's that?
is Stormy Daniels' lawyer. Got put in for 14 years for stealing millions from clients. Was found guilty of stealing money from 4 clients and obstructing IRS efforts to collect more than $3 million in unpaid payroll taxes. So yeah. So you got 14 years.
14 years.
Damn, I only gave Wesley Snipes like 7 or something.
But he didn't fraud. He didn't defraud anybody. He was skipping taxes.
I mean, he defrauded the government. I mean, basically. That's what it boils down to. You just didn't pay your taxes.
I mean, I did too.
I mean, we all done some goofy stuff. It's just kind of, I mean, I've rectified some of mine. It's just kind of, you know what I mean? Like stuff that you didn't catch or whatever, you know, it's not. And you're like, oh, shoot.
I'm just talking about taking skirt pins, man. What are you talking?
How about cheating on your taxes? This guy. Man, Wesley Snipes got by the time he got out, he got good credit.
Didn't he do that in prison? Didn't he have some kind of credit card thing set up?
He unfucked his whole life while he was doing his sentence. I don't know how many years he did, but he unfucked his whole life while he was in, and came out fucking smelling like roses. Basically.
I remember hearing something about that. He had some kind of credit card thing set up where the credit cards were paying each other off.
Right.
And that's how he built his credit. So by the time he got out of prison, he had an 800 credit score.
Yeah, he had a pretty decent credit. So I mean, then not only that, he started working right away too. So and I think some of his
an accomplished actor. So
well, I mean, now he is. I think the age and maturity.
I think the maturity, yeah.
I think the age and the maturity has brought out something in Wesley Snipes that we didn't quite expect. Right. He's done a couple of dramatic roles on Netflix movies and stuff like that, and that movie he did with Kevin Hart was brilliant. So
what did he do with Kevin Hart?
He played Kevin Hart's brother, The Kid. There's a movie called The Kid. I told you about it. You just never watched it.
Yeah, I never watched it.
But where he plays his deadbeat brother. That's constantly asking him for money, but he's also looking after him, and he basically does this scheme to to blackmail his brother out of more money. It's good. It's good. It's a real good movie.
I'm still not gonna watch it.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's because he's black.
You can say whatever you want.
You can't shake him from White Man Can't Jump.
Shut the fuck up, dude.
Can't see him in any.
I've never seen White Man Can't Jump.
Of course you haven't. You've seen Blade Bill, right?
Which one?
Any of them. They all have fucking Wesley Snipes in them.
They're making a new one that doesn't have him. I think it's Michael B. Jordan.
That wouldn't be half bad.
It wouldn't. Michael B. Jordan's great.
Yeah.
I can definitely see him in Blade. As Blade.
As Blade, hell yeah. Shit, he'd play the hell out of that.
I would have loved to have seen Denzel Washington when he was younger play that role, but it's a bit late now.
I'd like to see him play Spawn.
He got pretty close with the Book of Eli. That was pretty close.
Yeah, but I mean, Denzel Washington's a different category, man.
He's
ever since I saw him for the first time on Glory.
Yeah.
And bro, he knocked the socks off that role.
I've never seen him do a shit job in a movie.
I mean,
never.
Even those.
I've seen him in shit movies.
Yeah.
But I've never seen him do a shit job.
Even those, man, there was that one craze where everybody wanted to be a pilot or a train conductor or some bullshit. You know, like
what?
like there was a bunch of movies that came out. It was kind of right at the same time.
What was that? There was a movie where he was a train conductor.
Out of Time or some bullshit. Like they were doing crappy action movies.
What was that movie? Because it was a real story.
Yeah, and it's it's pretty much after Captain Phillips, not Captain Phillips. The dude that landed to play it.
Sullison?
Sully, yeah.
The movie's called Unstoppable. He's a railroad engineer. He's training a new guy.
Yeah, I mean it's that wasn't
a bad movie.
No, I mean he did the.
Since when did we talk about Hollywood shit though?
I mean we just kind of fell into it because
we just talking about random shit.
Stormy Daniels and stuff like that. And that kind of.
She wasn't in Hollywood either.
She was in everybody's Hollywood. She was with every Hollywood. I mean, I don't know why.
No, she was a porn star. I thought she was just a stripper.
I mean,
I didn't know. I never heard her name until it was all in controversy with Donald Trump. So.
I mean, I thought I'd figure that out, but I mean, then again, I don't follow porn stars like
me neither.
It's not something. Not. I think it's a shame. I don't want another name.
Shame or prudent?
I mean, I don't know.
It doesn't matter.
It just doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Just doesn't matter.
Why would I want to make this personal?
I don't want to get emotionally invested.
No.
I mean, we're definitely not watching it for the acting capabilities, so like man, she don't get an Oscar for this blowjob, man.
Or whatever the high award is they give at the adult video awards.
I don't know, the triple splooge. I don't know, whatever.
I'm not even going to look. I don't want that in my search history. So
The Eiffel Tower of Excellence.
I guess. No idea. I remember the only time I've been to Las Vegas, the Adult Video Awards were going on at the same time I was in Las
Yeah,
Vegas.
SHOT Show.
Yeah, when I was at SHOT Show. Yeah, the Adult Video Awards were going on at the same time, and we were legit trying to get some of those porn stars to join us at SHOT Show, because after everything's said and done at SHOT Show, at like 6 or 7 p.m.,
Right.
all the regular like shoppers or guests leave. The vendors are still there.
Yeah.
Most of the vendors have kegs of beer.
Yeah. I've been to shows like it's very serious for a portion of the day. Then it turns
it's about
into
sales. It's about
Then it turns into some report building freaking exercise after party,
Yeah.
which is just pretty decent.
Yeah.
But
we were trying to get them over there, but I don't think anybody ever got any of them to come by.
yeah, I was that would have been crazy. But I mean, but yeah, I mean I don't know Stormy Daniels from
Yeah, well, I wouldn't recognize her on the street. Oh, look, there's a blonde with some big old boobies.
Yeah, I mean, but then, so I guess there are 3 other serious criminal inquiries that are going on as well.
Into Trump?
Into Trump.
I know one's been the January 6th thing, and that's been going on since January 6th.
Yeah, that ship has sailed. They're still
They keep trying.
It's on life support.
They have to try every angle they can possibly conceive
Well,
of.
for one, it's their job to try.
Yeah, one is their job. 2, if they lose the next election, it's not going to be cool. It's not going to be good for them, for a lot of them. Because Trump, what I can see Trump doing is completely restructuring the Department of Justice. Because he's already had issues with the FBI. And the FBI has now been exposed as a Democrat organization.
It's a weapon.
Yeah, it's been weaponized by the Democratic Party. It's been weaponized by the left in the political sphere, and now you can't really make any kind of headway between a politician in D.C. and the American public without the FBI getting in the way. And they're not supposed to get in the way. That's not their business. Their business is just investigating crime.
That's part of the argument that Matt Taibbi was also bringing up. You know, like, so the media outlets are in this continuous rampage to maintain division between the American public and themselves. You know, whether it be through racial lines or whatever you do in your bedroom or something, you know, or kids or something. They're trying to split the population and keep them fighting against each other. But in reality, the weaponization of federal agencies affects all, not just Republicans. Not even, you can go MAGA Republicans, you can call them whatever the hell you want to call them. But a weaponized federal agency towards the citizenry that's actively, like what they did with those parents that were rebelling against CRT, and memos were passed out in the FBI and all this other stuff, and then what was happening with the laptop story is they were basically talking to Facebook and freaking and Twitter, and this is admitted by Mark Zuckerberg, and it's been admitted by the Twitter files. It's not something that's it's not a conspiracy tinfoil hat thing. It's actually happened, verified by the people who own these platforms, that the FBI has meddled into it. Now, the language that they utilize has been very ambiguous, just kind of, there's about to be a drop of Russian misinformation. Be on the lookout. Well, the drop is not a drop of Russian misinformation. It's the news of the laptop that's coming out. That's what's coming. That's the drop. So, the FBI can then back. Well, it's like, well, we never said that story. We just said that. So
vague enough.
Left them vague enough. There's plausible deniability. You can back off and just kind of like, I don't know. I don't know. Whatever.
We didn't say that.
Whatever do you mean? We never said any. We didn't use any specificity to our statements. Blah blah blah. So it's all fucking semantics. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But But the fact remains the same. They did collude with social media outlets and try to freaking influence news that could have influenced election results. Maybe. It's all a big maybe, because, I mean, we've all seen sometimes...
I mean, there's a word for what you're describing. It's called plausible deniability.
Yeah, well,
thanks.
Yeah. I was expecting a new word that I didn't know.
That's why I was trying to do a cliffhanger.
I was like, dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, plausible deniability.
Plausible deniability. I was like, I'm a fucking idiot. I'm a goddamn ape.
But I mean, but it's true though. I mean,
yeah,
that's the whole game of it. I mean, you see, everybody does it. It doesn't matter what level of government anybody's in. They try to achieve plausible deniability, especially when they're doing shady shit.
Yeah.
You saw it most recently with the Russia thing when they took down that drone. You clip a drone, accident. It's plausible deniability. They were trying to bring it down anyway, and they were successful. They hit the fucking propeller and it went down.
Yeah.
Mission accomplished.
Yeah.
But we can say it's an accident because we clipped it instead of shot it down. You shoot it down, it's
deliberate.
Yeah, it's deliberate hostile action.
Deliberate hostile action. But
the same thing with that. With what you're talking about. I mean, if you can't prove that the FBI had any intent behind, I mean, they had intent, but they didn't have any specifics. They never said what news thing would be the Russia misinformation. They just the next biggest news that came out, they assumed that was the Russian drone.
Right. So it's
plausible deniability.
Right. So it's kind of shitty that's but I mean, I would run. If I had to do it, I'd do it exactly like that. I mean, it's just, so let's not kid ourselves. If I was gonna have to say something, I was the head of the agency, that's exactly how I would play it. But because now the FBI is not on trial for the damn thing, so because it's all hearsay, know, and whatever. But apparently 3 other serious criminal inquiries, one out of Washington D.C. and Georgia. Apparently, they're looking at Washington a hearing and evidence of the Department of Justice probe into Trump's retention of classified government records in his Florida residence. Then his efforts to reverse the 2020 Electoral College loss to Biden. In an Atlanta grand jury's eyeing Trump and his allies for pressuring Georgia officials to undo his loss to Biden in the state's popular vote. The Manhattan...
Pressuring to undo or pressuring to recount?
Pressuring to recount's what it was. This is what I remembered.
Yeah, that's what I remember.
But you forget that, and I quote Joe Biden, we have created the greatest electoral fraud
in the country's history.
System in the country's history.
And I will also quote Joe Biden.
Yeah. International end quote. It's I don't know. It's kind of, so they're definitely looking to stomp him out before he gets any headway. But it's having the opposite effect. It kind of catapulted him ahead of DeSantis in the polls, but we all know how reliable those polls are.
Can be, yeah.
Yeah, 10 people going like, we hate Trump.
Right.
Like,
polls show 100% of people are dicks.
It's, according to those polls, 37% of our country is retarded, but...
I guarantee you it's more than that.
I guarantee it's more than that, because... They're like, it's 37% approval rating for Kamala Harris and all this other shit. I'm like, y'all heard that lady speak? Like, speak, not actually do anything. Let's just keep it simple.
I get the impression she's terrified every time she gets behind a mic.
Yeah, these people are hostages. God. These people are hostages, man. They're hostages. They're hostages.
If they are at Stockholm at this point.
I don't think they can run anywhere, man. I think they're trapped. They sold their souls, man. Now they gotta pay. I mean, you campaign as the direct opposition
Oh, yeah.
to the guy that's the president, based on racial grounds. Now, granted, her allegations were fucking categorically, absolutely fucking false. That bullshit about the bus, and that was the little black girl, whatever. Look, stop it. But campaign on that, like finger wagging campaign, and they offer you second seat in the land, and you're like, oh, like fucking Alice in Wonderland all of a sudden. Wait a fucking minute, man. Like, if people didn't know where her morals stood, Tulsi Gabbard wiped the fucking floor with
Every time she talked, yeah.
with that skank. She put
Every time.
She put a broomstick on her and just fucking went to work.
But that's what I said before. I mean, the vice president for like the last 100 years or 100 years or so, it has got to be a much, 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 much worse option than the president.
Absolutely, absolutely.
It deters assassination.
Absolutely. It's absolutely.
Now, the only case that I can think of in recent history where that has not been true, ever since they made the change of where, like, I told you last time, or I told you before, the vice president, when we first started this country, was the person who came in second.
Right.
Now that has problems because the person who came in second is the party opposition.
Right.
You know what I mean? So they're from opposite parties. So the vice president, being the president pro tempore of the Senate, has the tiebreaker vote in the Senate. So the Senate's only 100 people. So if you get a 50-50 vote, where does the vote go? The president pro tempore has one vote in the Senate. If it comes to 50-50, they usually vote in their party lines. So they'll vote that way. If they're from opposite party, then it goes to the president and gets vetoed because the vice president's from the opposite party. So now they got the vice president as a running mate to the president. And every time it's been somebody who's a much worse option than the president. Mike Pence is a good example. He was a worse option than Donald Trump. The only president and vice president that I can think of in like the past 100 years where that was not the case, where the vice president was actually probably a better option than the president, was Lyndon B. Johnson. Who was he vice president to?
Kennedy. Yeah.
John F. Kennedy.
John F. Kennedy.
John F. Kennedy was assassinated. Yeah, but if you know anything about Lyndon Baines Johnson, that guy was a political monster. His nickname in the Senate was the Lion.
Yeah.
You know what you gotta do in that kind of world to get that nickname?
Grow up in Lampasas.
I think he grew up in like Round Rock.
Like down here, just down the street. Like,
Yeah, that Lady Bird.
Yeah.
Where did he? I know he's from Texas.
He's like from Lampasas, I think. That's where he's from.
If he grew up in Lampasas, that's nuts.
Yeah.
Stonewall, Texas.
Stonewall.
That's where he was born.
Okay.
But yeah, his nickname was the Lion of the Senate.
Yeah, look it up. LBJ and Lampasas.
Johnson City High School. Johnson City, Texas. That's where he graduated high school.
Okay, so it must have been...
I don't know where the hell that's at. Blanco County. That's not far away.
Okay.
It's just down 281.
Yeah.
It's in between here and San Antonio. Yeah, it's like directly west of Austin. Yeah, that's not far at all. Marble Falls?
There we go.
Just south of Marble Falls.
Okay.
Maybe like 5 miles, maybe a little bit more than that. That's about it though. But
Yeah.
that's the only example I can think of where the vice president was probably a better candidate for president than the guy who won the office. And that was LBJ and John F. Kennedy.
I don't know, man.
You see what happened to JFK? He died. He got assassinated. And LBJ had the audacity to swear in on a plane with JFK's wife standing next to him, still covered in blood. You ever seen that photo?
No. That's metal as fuck. That's fucking crazy.
Oh my god, the ads. So this is on, it's an old photo. You can't see any of the blood on Jackie Kennedy's face, but that's on an airplane. That's right after the announcement came in of JFK's death.
Okay.
Look at her face.
Yeah.
That's trauma.
Yeah. Damn. I guess Gerald Ford, because he was vice president of Richard Nixon.
Gerald Ford couldn't hold a candle to Nixon.
That's what I mean. Like, upon the resignation of Richard Nixon from office ended in January 20, a period of 895 days. Yeah, freaking Gerald Ford. Apparently he was pretty shitty too. So
yeah, well, that's what I'm talking about. If you look into the vice presidents in the 20th century, they're really garbage compared to the president at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Garbage politically. I mean, Biden was absolute garbage compared to Obama. Even though Obama was not a big name, he was not a well-known politician when he obtained office.
Oh, but Obama, man, he could freaking
He's
sell.
A wonderful talker.
He could sell freaking.
A great orator. He's a smart guy, but he was not a well-known politician. Biden was much more well-known than Obama was. Much more.
Yeah, well, he had been in
but
politics
Biden was an absolute, clearly identified piece of shit.
Yeah, he's a failure. He's always been.
I guess he called in favors with the Democratic National Committee, and they got him to be vice president to Obama. I mean, good choice, because Biden's a piece of crap.
Always has been.
Always has been.
Even before he started talking in riddles and freaking. It's like, all right, dude. You know. Like, yeah, I mean, there's another. I guess Fox News is in the new. They're in the courts right now with the Dominion lawsuit, the Dominion voting machines.
Fox News?
Fox News, yeah. They're defendants basically on this, out of all places, a Delaware judge. Delaware.
Where Biden's from.
Right. So, tinfoil hat time. The Dominion machines that were used in the voting. So, Dominion basically suing Fox News for $1.6 billion and the defamation lawsuit.
For defamation?
So, for basically saying that the machines are fucking rigged. You know, paraphrasing. But yeah, Delaware. Where's that Dominion company from?
I think it's from South America somewhere.
Brazil? I mean, they had something. I don't know. They had servers all over the world. Mm-hmm.
It's funny, their website's dominionvoting.com. Oh, they sell the machines. We can buy a machine. Do you want to go in on one?
On the Dominion machine?
Yeah.
What are you gonna vote for? We're just gonna just have it.
Just have it. Set it outside. See how many votes we can get for nothing. None, because barely anybody votes in this country.
Yeah, where are you guys from? Like, I can't find it. Like, where are you?
Yeah, headquarters in Toronto and in Denver.
So not in Delaware.
Mm-mm.
So how did Delaware become the presiding court for this particular lawsuit?
Good question. Do you know what court it is?
Let's see. Like, I mean, it's high profile, but why Delaware?
I can give you some tinfoil theories. The judge is Eric Davis, the Delaware Superior Court judge.
Mm-hmm. How long has he been friends with Joe Biden?
Let me do some research, man. This doesn't take me long. You've seen me do this before.
Yeah, I know. Because it looks like
I used to get paid to do this.
Because it looks like conflict of interest. Just
Oh, that face! This guy's about to be a politician. He'll be running for Congress in about a couple of years once he retires from the bench.
Yeah.
He's been the judge of the Superior Court of the state of Delaware on December 20. He's been judge since 2012.
Mm-hmm.
Who was president in 2012?
It'll be easy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Appointed by Jack Markle, governor of Delaware in 2012.
Mm-hmm. So is he cashing in a favor? They cashing in a favor?
It's possible. The thing is, like, a case like that, that's civil litigation. So I mean, and you're right to wonder, why is this being tried in Delaware if their headquarters is in Colorado? And I'm pretty sure Fox News' headquarters is in New York.
Yeah, it's because usually for civil litigation, the jurisdiction where the offense happened. So that's what I'm trying to read. Like, was the report published in Delaware? Was it? What does Delaware have to do with that particular case, other than that's where the president is from? And you know, once obscure company seeking $1.6 billion in damages. Fox aired to debunk conspiracy theories that Dominion's voting machines were used to rig the outcome against Republican Donald Trump. Well, they're not. I mean, they're not. So, at what point do we stop thinking that? So, one popular thing that's been kind of permeating with the president is every time he says something just crazy, they're like, "Oh, it's hyperbole, or it's just the context is missing, or that's not exactly what he meant," you know. But he does this a lot, and we've come to find out through the years that it's basically Freudian slips because of his decaying mental state, and things that he's supposed to kind of keep his mouth shut on, that he's privy to, just kind of bubble to the surface in his aging mind, and they become Freudian slips, and he says them out loud with enough conviction, where there is no context other than what you said. The statements are what you said. If you were to bring some of that stuff into the court of law, it'd be considered res gestae. You know, basically, this is what you said, and there's a lot of possibilities that that's exactly what happened. What you said is actually what happened. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not as definitive as saying it's being found in front of a dead body and going like, I killed this lady. I mean, I didn't kill this lady.
Right.
It's not that cut and dry, but it's still pretty damning, you know, in and of itself, when he said some of the things that he said, and then turns out that a guy that never campaigned as much as the other guy wins the most votes in American history while at the same time winning the least amount of counties. No president has ever won the presidency with this amount of counties. And come on.
Yeah.
Like the numbers just don't add up. When you add all the votes together, both of them win for Trump and all, it basically says that about 60% of the American population of voting age went out and voted. That's never happened in the history of the United States. And this last election wasn't as galvanizing as people.
Yeah, people purport it to be.
Yeah,
it wasn't.
It wasn't as. This wasn't like a post Civil War election or something that had like a lot of. Yeah, it had some. There was some things riding on it, but isn't there always something riding on it? It's just kind of, I don't know. Like, you add the numbers.
You're absolutely right in that. Well, saying that the highest voted turnout for a presidential election was the 2020 election.
Yeah. Like 60% of the American population went out and voted. That's never happened. It's never happened. So there's especially for somebody who rarely left their basement to go campaign. Like,
right.
Even like Obama, a great orator, the guy could lie to your face and still manage to sell you some shit. And you're like, I fuck. Now I got this damn useless freaking vacuum cleaner. He fucking lied to my face. The guy he's a salesman, a good one.
Yeah.
His policies were crap, and he did a few good things, a lot of bad things. And
that's the thing. I kind of feel bad for Obama because he really was. He was a younger, decent politician who I think got roped into the same machinery that Biden's been in for a long time.
But
the same people that were controlling Obama are now controlling Biden.
Yeah.
It's the same people.
And the thing is that
I think they've been controlling Biden for years and years.
The thing is that when you get voters, when you get a candidate that's as electrifying to the minorities and to people, like almost like rock star status, you don't get the most votes in American history when it's possibly the most popular. Reagan didn't get 81 million votes. You know what I mean? Freaking Kennedy, Obama, Trump, George W. First one didn't know, dude. And this guy, that's a dud. We know he's a dud. Everybody knows he's a dud, except for about the guy can't win a post on. He can't get more than 10,000 likes on a freaking tweet.
I've read some of the replies to his
he can't even.
He's not tweeting. It's
of course not. He can't tweet. Twitter. There ain't no way. For one, let's get it straight. He don't have the time for it.
Right.
There ain't no freaking way. He ain't got the time for it.
Yeah, no president would.
Donald Trump probably be like.
But his time management skills are pretty damn good.
Yeah, but you could tell when the Donnie freaking put some stuff out, it'd be all misspelled and shit, and be fuck. You know what I mean? I was like, yeah, that was him. He typed that with his thumb.
Yeah.
So, because it's all that's not how you type. That's not how you write requirement.
Right.
As like, little shit like that. So you can tell, oh, misspelled. It's not a staffer. It's him.
Yeah.
Freaking doing, But Biden, he'll put out a tweet and from the White House account, and they won't get 10,000 freaking likes.
Yeah.
You mean to tell me the president that won 81 million votes can't get 6 figures in likes on the most popular social media platform? I've added the numbers from a popular tweet that also was published on Facebook and totaled the fucking likes from both platforms, and you still don't get 100,000. 100,000. You can't get 100K?
Yeah.
And you won 81 million votes? Look, I'm not saying that it happened, but it's suspect. You know what I mean? There's enough to kind of go like, huh. You expect a person like that to be, if you want 81 million votes, there should be a crowd outside of your house. You know what I mean? That you mean to tell me that you are at Beatles status? That's what you're telling me. You know. No. It's just not possible. So it just doesn't appear possible, because anything is possible, but it just doesn't appear that way. So when Trump basically sees, and I'm not a fan of Trump, like in that sense. I can't stand when he opens his mouth. He says fucking crazy shit. Everything is huge and the best and whatever. It's just like, oh my god, like it's just like, his voice just freaking kills me. But I like to be fair up and down the middle. And come on, man, if people liked you so much, and you're Joe Biden, people liked you so much, why on earth are people following you around like the Pied Piper? Like,
because a lot of what's been said about that election is probably true. That if there was that many people that got out and voted, they weren't voting for Biden. They were voting against Trump. They didn't give a shit who was running. And it could have been anybody. It just happened to be that was the person that got the Democratic National Committee to actually say, "Hey, this is our champion."
And that's why I say that anything is possible.
Me personally, I don't believe that many people got out and voted.
I just don't believe it.
I believe it was rigged. I believe something was done.
The thing is, you can't get 60% of the nation
to do
anything in unison.
Right. Yeah.
I mean,
I believe the numbers were fudged. I mean, it wouldn't be the first time that voter fraud has occurred.
Even in war, you still need to implement the draft.
Yeah.
World War II.
So I'd say World War II was a little bit of an outlier because you had a unifying event.
Right.
So
but even after 9/11, or even after shortly after Pearl Harbor.
You can look at the enlistment track over the last couple hundred years, and 1941 or 1942. Right after it happened.
Right.
It happened in December of 41. So 42, the enlistment numbers jumped, regardless of the draft, because there were men lining up for miles to enlist.
Yes.
So you had a unifying event in Pearl Harbor. 9/11, same thing. Maybe not with the mile-long lines, but you had a huge enlistment because there were people in New York, droves of men in New York that they quit whatever the hell they were doing and enlisted.
Yeah, we had guys in our unit.
Yeah.
They were there.
Yeah.
In the World Trade Center. Yeah. We had a guy, freaking, I think it was 2nd Platoon, had a dude for a hot minute there. I don't know where the hell he transferred to. But he was a NYPD cop.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He was there in the Twin Towers. He lost friends, lost family, enlisted, wanted to kick some ass.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
those unifying events, you're going to see a huge jump in enlistment.
Yeah, but that's what I'm getting at. Even with galvanizing events in our American history, you seldom see 60% of the nation actually stepping up in unison and walking lockstep towards anything.
Right.
You mean to tell me that election was it? That's the bridge you're trying to sell me.
Yeah.
And sorry, man, I'm not saying that there's not a bridge there, but I don't want to buy it. You know what I mean? Maybe, but I don't want to buy it. It's but yeah, they're trying to take them down and whatever. I think I just think that they're just not.
Note the random question: what percent of the U.S. population enlisted for World War II? 11%. 11%. But that's huge. It was 140 million.
Yeah.
140 million people enlisted. 11% of the American population fought in World War II.
Mm-hmm.
That's massive. But that's only 11%.
I'm telling you, the numbers don't add up.
Yeah.
They don't add up.
80 million is what percent of the American population?
Just go with...
I think the American population is, 340 million?
Okay, so check this out. I'm not saying how many votes did Biden get. I'm talking about all of the votes put together.
Oh, gotcha.
All of the votes. The ones that Donnie got, the ones that freaking that Papa Joe got, all of those votes put together, it's an insane amount of voters.
Right. 331 million people in the United States. Mm-hmm. That's the current estimated population.
Yeah, so. Yeah, so. So we're looking at the Council for Foreign Relations and just basically the numbers of so yeah, those numbers are enormous. Like I don't make Now, this is the stuff I do when I'm bored. I just kind of like get on these little bit of statistical anomalies, and just like, this is weird,
Yeah.
and just because it stands up to me, it's a complete aberration of what the status quo is, and it's weird. So 155,506,56 votes.
That's really close to the number I got.
So that's what I got from the Council of Foreign Relations on the 2020 numbers, and that's just Republicans and Democrats. We're not
Not
talking
including
about
independent parties or anything like that.
third-party candidates or independents, which picked up about 1% of the votes.
So the numbers I got from the Federal Election Commission
More than 159 million
is
Americans voted.
just for Democrat and Republican
Largest.
candidates. 155,507,400.
66.7% of the voting eligible population of the United States voted. So
Usually for presidential elections, it's around 50%. That's typical. It's around 50%.
So you have to go back to the 1900 election to find a higher percentage turnout, 73.7. The election of 1876 holds the record for highest turnout with 82.6%. That, of course, was also America's most controversial and consequential elections, and not in a good way.
Because it was right after the Civil War.
So that Biden win comfortably? Yeah. If you go by the popular vote, But, I mean, only Barack Obama won by a larger total. Biden piled up at 4%, 4.5% of the vote. All right, yeah. So this is for the Council of Foreign Relations that throws this number straight from the election people, and 66.7%. It's the highest in 120 years. Not saying that it's impossible, but I'm just saying that there is not enough of a galvanizing situation in the nation to kind of promote that. But whatever.
And that's the thing. I think we're speaking.
I'm just a guy in the basement. You know what I mean? Like,
here's the theory. I'm sitting here thinking about it. I know the history to it. I lived through it. And I was there.
Mm-hmm.
I voted. But here's my thoughts on that. We're speaking about this as Southerners. We're in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
This is a red state. It's historically, since I won't get into it. This is primarily like a solid red state. It's known as a solid red state. Advertising is very specific about where and who it advertises to.
Of course.
So I think if we're missing a galvanizing event or a galvanizing thing, it might be because we're in the wrong state. Because I imagine the political ads in New York are much, much different than the political ads in Texas.
Yeah, but you have a point, but I'm also, so if you want to use let's just say galvanizing event during that election cycle was the pandemic. So we here in Texas didn't suffer as much as, say, the people that were locked down in New York, but they still voted Democrat.
Yeah.
Somehow.
Well, that's the thing I think about the advertising dollars. If you're constantly getting fed this drip of one-sided information, what else do you know? You live in an echo chamber. So, I mean, unless you yourself get out there and seek out information, you get whatever you get. You get whatever you're given. And if they keep giving you one-sided information, how else are you going to think? I mean, it's very, very powerful stuff. I mean, you and I are subject to it as well. We're not outliers.
We're not immune to it. No.
But we go out and seek out information, and we exchange it amongst each other and try to develop different opinions, or at least different understandings of events and occurrences and stuff like that.
It's just
but
weird.
I mean, the average person that works in a cubicle their whole life, you and I cannot work in cubicles. We would go insane.
Yeah.
Both of us would. Most of our friends would. We cannot work in cubicle. We cannot work in a confined space like that and be comfortable. We just can't do it. We're not physically or mentally capable of it. But the people who are listen to one-sided things. They're very, very comfortable just having something play in the background. And it's just drip feeding them bullshit.
Yeah, just massaging stuff in their prefrontal, just like, yeah, here we go. Yeah, but I mean...
And New York is full. There are millions of people like that in New York. Millions.
Yeah. The thing is that...
And
so...
people like us live in places like this. We're in a southern state in a mostly rural area. We have plenty of space to move around. So those kinds of ads and informational stuff don't come down to us because either they know it's not going to work or there's just not that many people here and they don't care. So they're not going to spend the dollars feeding us that bullshit.
No impact, no idea.
That's what I'm getting at. Yeah, it's not going to have an impact.
No impact, no effect. Yeah, it's just but the thing is that you shouldn't be brought to trial for questioning it.
Absolutely.
That's one of the charges.
Yeah. What?
That's one of the things they're looking into.
For questioning the election.
Yes, and that's the thing. Like, we could be biased on, and we all have prejudices on something, on some kind of level about something, and it don't matter whether it be food or something. We all prefer things. That's just how it is. But this agenda of basically getting everybody on the same sheet of music, even though nobody wants to be on the same sheet of music, but they're forcing, even the people that are forcing this agenda don't want to be on the same sheet of music, but they're in lockstep with this Marxist bullshit. He's not the first candidate to question the outcome of election. Not the first.
Long shot, yeah.
He shouldn't be the last.
Yeah.
Should be the last, and that's what America is supposed to be. Like, if we, like, what happened with what's his face and George W. in his second election, in the hang up they had in Florida.
Who was he running as? McCain?
I don't know if it was McCain or the other dude. No, it was McCain. It had to be McCain, or I don't know who the hell it was. Al Gore. Al Gore.
Yeah, it was Al Gore.
Yeah, it was Al Gore. So they had that hang up in Florida with the votes and stuff like that. Yes, fight.
Yeah.
Fight for your.
Yeah.
If you believe.
That's a pivotal thing. It's like whoever wins Florida wins the presidency. Then you're damn right.
Yeah, fight it. If you believe that in your heart of hearts that you shouldn't have lost that state because how you prepared, how you orated, how you debated, and everything, and you think you did all the right, why shouldn't you question it? And that's the thing. Like, he is being chastised for questioning it. If Biden runs in the next election and loses, and he questions it, he should be allowed to.
Yeah.
Because what's good for the goose is good for the gander, right? No. Allegedly.
Yeah, that's not true.
Nah. But it's
by this precedent, if he questions the next election and if he loses the next election and questions it, he's going to go to prison.
He should be tried and all this stuff. But that's the thing. Like, is that the standard that is being set?
Okay, we say this right here. Like, is that the standard? Is it the precedent that's being set?
Yeah.
There's a lot of precedents being set.
There's a lot. Well, I've seen quite a few.
It's getting ridiculous.
It's getting ridiculous. I'm just saying, like if one guy is going to question and going to try and overturn, that doesn't mean revolution. That doesn't mean insurgency. That doesn't mean any of that.
Right.
It just means that he's questioning the outcome of a free election, allegedly, free election. So let him question it, because when the shoe's on the other foot, which it will, hopefully we have many more elections. When the shoe's on the other foot, I expect that candidate should be allowed to question his. I mean, dude, there's a lot that goes into that campaign, man. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of money, a lot of work, a lot of man hours, a lot of presentations, you can't. I mean,
they really need to put a limit on that money too.
A lot of posturing. You got. I mean,
$1 billion to get a presidency.
You're shooting a movie for over a year. Is basically what it is.
Yeah.
Everything you do is public. Everything you do is recorded. Everything you say is recorded. Everything, you can't step wrong. You know, you got people scrubbing your past. You got people freaking deep diving into your background to make sure that nobody finds that weird freaking little sidestep you did and freaking when you took that college visit to freaking to Panama or something. And you did something goofy. You know, it's just come on, man. Like, it's hard work. So I expect the loser of a major election like that to fight it, because it's fucking worth the fight. It's worth fighting for. So fight it. But when you bring the courts into it because you fought it, are you kidding me? Come on, man. Yeah. That's not what we're about. It's just but enough about that. I mean, we got other stuff that's going on too, and
what you got now?
Fucking TikTok. It's in the news again.
I still don't have TikTok.
Yeah, no, TikTok's in the news again. There's a bunch of people.
Oh wait, yeah, his the CEO of TikTok.
He's proclaiming
before Congress.
The chief there, executive Shuzi Chu. He's defending his video app basically against to Congress. There's a bunch of idiots over there freaking advocating for TikTok and whatever, because they had meetings with TikTokers, and they're like, "It's my livelihood," but it's never supposed to be your livelihood, stupid. You know, get a fucking real job. You know, like I don't know, man. So they're fighting it because the ban is on government equipment.
Yes, I heard about that.
It's on government equipment. It's not a ban
of TikTok in
the United States. Yeah. You can, but they're
people who work for the government cannot have it on
their
government government phones.
So, they're painting it as it's a ban across.
Right.
And that's another leftist just maneuver to basically get the opinion on their side on this issue.
Well, the thing is, I don't understand like why they're arguing for this at all. Even if it is like their livelihood, if you make money on TikTok, you can make money on any platform. So it doesn't matter what platform you're actually posting on. You just happen to be posting primarily on TikTok. You can go to Rumble and make money. You can go to YouTube and make money. You can go to Facebook and make money with Reels now. You can do all the same stuff on different platforms and still make money. So, I mean, if you're successful on TikTok, you can be successful on almost any platform. So that's not a valid argument.
The thing is that why does a Chinese company have anything to say about who and why and where they run their things in the continental United States?
Yeah, they shouldn't have any say in it.
Why the fuck is China saying anything? Why is this Chinese dude in Congress testifying, arguing for the inclusion of his platform in our American markets?
Yeah.
You're not from here, bro. Why is that even being entertained?
Unless he has a patent with the Americans. So, U.S. Patent Office is one of the most staunch in the world. Most people who patent things across the world will patent their things in the United States because the U.S. will actually protect patents. China doesn't.
Well, do they have a patent?
I don't know. I've never looked it up.
That's a homework for y'all. If y'all want to take it out, I mean, because I don't
look it up right now.
Shit. Because I'm not gonna look it up. I don't really care. Get that damn China man out of there with his TikTok. With his daggone TikTok. I was like, I don't know, man. If it's such an issue, just
yes, it does.
Yeah.
It has a patent for music service.
Yeah. So they're First Amendment protected.
Yes. Well, they're patent. They're
patent. Well, it's a First Amendment platform, basically. I mean,
2 patents. Yeah. TikTok owns 2 patents in the United States.
That's fine. Get your own personal phone. The federal government has proprietary equipment.
Yeah, they have proprietary equipment. They have every right to protect their information.
They have every right to regulate what goes on and what doesn't.
Being that TikTok is a Chinese company, and most of Congress are lawyers, so if they look at the terms and conditions that you agree to when you download TikTok onto your phone, if they actually read that entire document, which I don't doubt that they did, you'll find that TikTok is allowed access to everything about your phone. What your phone is,
including
what the software,
all the devices you log on to.
Other devices that phone is connected to, that it passes by, it has access to everything. So yeah, it's a data mining thing. TikTok is a data mining app.
So their biggest argument, from what I've heard in the past, is that they're not in concert with the Chinese. The CCP?
The Chinese Communist Party?
Yeah.
Bullshit, they're not.
They have to answer.
They have to be.
They have to answer to them.
They're primarily a Chinese company. If they have business in China, they have to answer to the CCP.
They have to.
We've covered this before.
Yes. So that's their argument.
And the board of directors or whoever runs their company, they either have to have members of the Communist Party in that system, or they have to be members of the Communist Party themselves.
Yeah. So, but I mean, a lot of people don't see. They see it as discriminatory and all this other stuff. You know
what? Fuck it. It is discriminatory.
It is.
And fuck them.
Yeah.
Give a damn if it is. Fuck that shit.
Yeah. Get it out. Get it out of our freaking hallway. Ain't freaking doing that bullshit in Congress, and they're not allowed. We're not selling Yugos anymore, are we? There's a bunch of, well, that's the thing. Like, there's a bunch of other stuff that we can't sell in the United States, regardless of your fucking patent, because they don't meet our regulatory standards.
Right.
There's a bunch of cars that you could drive in Europe that you can't fucking drive in the States.
The Hilux.
Yeah, that's a shame.
I want that truck.
That is a shame.
I will buy that truck as soon as it hits the American side.
That is the dude. I'm telling you, that truck is.
I have personally seen that truck get hit by a 120 millimeters gun.
Indestructible.
And drive away.
Indestructible. They don't make any sense.
I want that truck.
Yeah. Yeah. They don't make any sense.
Yeah.
But there's a bunch of stuff that's out there that you can't possibly use in the United States in regulatory things where it comes to the FDA or the FCC or whoever regulates it.
Or even competition with American firms. So, I mean, that's part of the reason why the Hilux isn't allowed in the... Well, it's not sold in North America because there are American companies that make a very, very similar product. So the tariff on the Hilux, specifically about a mid-sized truck, is going to be a lot higher than, say, a small truck or a large truck because you have too much competition in the United States for mid-sized trucks.
Right.
That's how tariffs work. Well, welcome for economics education.
Yep. But I mean, it's a damn shame. Then on that same thing with operational security.
Yeah.
Fucking LAPD.
I mean, what was the thing that they banned from government offices? The Furby. Was it the Furby? That little troll-looking thing that has a recording device in it?
Oh yeah, with the eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it called a Furby?
Yeah, I think so. It's
a long time ago. I think I was still in the military. Yeah, it was the Furby.
Good God, that shit's ugly.
It's creepy.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's what inspired Five Nights at Freddy's. Or...
Well, those automated freaking
automatons.
The automatons. Well, they're inspired by that
old timey,
that shitty fucking Chuck E. Cheese bullshit, where the rat was freaking a creepy ass robot. But
they still use 3.5 and 5.0 floppy drives to operate that thing.
Well, that's pretty much what our nuclear. I
saw that the other day.
Our nuclear freaking arsenal is managed by 3.5 floppies. This is analog. You know.
Wonder how many people would watch this show and not even know what the hell we're talking about. What the hell's a floppy drive?
What the hell's a floppy drive? That shit. It's not that thing inside between your legs.
It is.
Well, right now, yeah. Or is it?
I'm just sitting here like this.
Yeah, just hold. It's what's holding this table up.
Yeah, there's only 3 legs on the table and the 4th.
Yeah. Well, fucking LAPD, man. They had a huge, so they had 9,300 some odd of their officers' identities
Oh, that.
exposed, including undercovers and just about everything, on a public records request.
And here's the headline on Fox News. LAPD chief accused of feeding personal data to anti-police activists. Bounty on our officers. Yeah, you just eliminated operations or got a lot of cops killed. Because how many of those cops are deep cover? Where they have to live like who they're pretending to be.
I mean, it depends, man, because the LAPD has an enormous budget, and the scope of their operations and their fusion center alone cooperates with federal agencies like in a big time way. Like LAPD is not this ain't like PD down the street.
No,
You know, this is
LAPD is one of the largest police organizations in the world.
This is an enormous organization, and I don't know, man. Like, for that many officers' identities to be, so then this guy Hamid Khan, I guess, well, he put it on a public searchable on his website, basically for his activist crap, and he put it out there. But
Hamid Khan is a police abolitionist, if anybody wants to know without looking him up.
yeah, which is kind of ironic because isn't he Pakistani?
I believe he's Pakistani born or Pakistani descended. I'm not really sure because I can't find much information about him.
I got him right here.
The Hamid Khan that I find is a lawyer, but he's actually he is in Pakistan. He argues in front of the Pakistani Supreme Court. He's not an American. But the one that you're talking about in LA, he is an American.
He's an organizer for the Stop LAPD Spying Coalition, and that's not the same dude that's on Wikipedia. It's a different
completely
dude.
Different guy.
Yeah, that other guy is Pakistani, whatever. But Khan is very common middle name and last name in Pakistan and the Pakistan, Afghanistan, Mongolia region, that whole Southeast Asia part of the world. So, but yeah, I mean, he put out a short clip there on YouTube, but
yeah, he's a police abolitionist. He has a couple of different organizations, or is affiliated with a couple of different organizations that all they do is try to sabotage and circumvent police operations in LA.
Yeah, so
and their headquarters is on Skid Row.
Oh yeah, so he's basically he'd get a top secret clearance under the Biden administration, but not under any previous one. Because
if he doesn't have one already.
Yeah, if he did. Well, I mean, this thing he acquired those records with a public information request, and they were handed to him. I don't know why.
Which is insane.
Because you join a police force and you think that your department's gonna at least, at the very minimum, protect your identity. Nah, fuck you. It's all part of the plan. Defund the police and stuff like that. And
that's the thing, man.
It's all part of it. But they
I support the idea. Go ahead. Defund the police. Eliminate police offices. Eliminate police departments. See why they're necessary. If you don't understand why they're necessary, eliminate them, or stand them down for about 3 weeks. Yeah. But don't eliminate them completely. Just give them a free vacation for 3 weeks.
How much would crime go down?
All of it, all the way. It would end crime.
Yeah,
absolutely.
All reportable crime.
There would be no reported crime. If you were to do it nationwide, all crime in the United States has ceased.
Be the stat of the freaking century right there. But I don't know, this dude freaking
I mean, he's a moron. I don't know if he's doing it for clout or for money or whatever. I said a moron.
Oh, I thought you said Mormon. I'm like, how's it con?
Why would I even say that?
I was like, how's that got anything to do with it?
I don't care what the hell his religion is at all.
I was like, no, he's a moron. I was like, oh. All right.
Oh, I like this
Yeah.
quote from Fox News. Says, some genius at LAPD fucked up and exposed everybody, including those who were undercover.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on purpose.
I mean, I'll never go to LA. I've been to California once. It was LA for like 10 hours on a layover. That was it. That's the only time I'm ever going to California. I was like, absolutely have to. But yeah, there's another quote in this article from Fox News. They are involved in criminal investigations involving drug cartels, violent street organizations in which their identity pursuant to court oversight and the Constitution is masked. Yeah, for a fucking good reason.
Mm-hmm.
If they get identified, they're dead, or they'll come after their families.
Yeah.
Here's the thing: if any police officer loses their life because of this,
nothing will happen.
You're right. You're right. Nothing will happen.
Nothing will happen.
Nothing will happen. But that son of a bitch needs to be dragged in front of court and tried for
no, absolutely. Absolutely nothing will happen.
Accessory to the death of a cop.
You know, nothing will happen.
You're right, though. Yeah, nothing will happen. It's California.
As a matter of fact, they'd probably build a statue on his right on Skid Row with him standing there holding the list of all the cops. You know, yeah.
And he got killed.
Yeah, yeah. They praise pieces of shit over there. It's just kind of, yeah. It's insane.
The information on the officers is limited to their names, serial numbers, divisions, year of hire, gender, ethnicity, departmental email address, and rank. Along with their departmental headshots, their funeral photos, yeah. The information on the site is in service of public education and community awareness, organizer Hamid Khan said. Hamid. Personal information such as home addresses are not included on their site. If you got their name and photo, you can find their address.
Yeah.
Since the data was published on its other site, Watch the Watchers, social media has also ignited with menacing posts calling for payback time. So now you got a social media following of people saying payback time on LAPD personnel. You do realize those people are trained, right?
The thing is that you can't watch your back 24/7, man.
No, you can't.
It's just one of those things. Like, I don't care how much training you got, man. I've been carrying a gun for 20,
my entire adult life, yeah.
20 some odd years. I've trained in. Let's just say I got training going from Benny to Camp McCall back to Moyock, North Carolina, to all over, you know, and all these other places. I'm a highly experienced dude with a gun. However, I guarantee if you want to get me, you get me.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, try enough times or try with enough people.
Just
and yeah,
wait till I get in front of that ice cream aisle over there in HEB, and I'll done. Like, yes. That one. Yeah. So yeah, I mean it's you can't.
You're right. You can't watch your back 24/7.
Can't watch your back 24/7. It's just.
But I mean, we're talking about TikTokers and tweeters.
I'd sue if I was. So the police union is suing.
Good.
And all this other stuff, but I'd sue the LAPD for personal protection.
Right.
Be like, yeah. I want freaking 24-hour protection. Because if you're gonna publish who I am,
and what I look like,
and all the identifiers that you'll need to know who the fuck I am, because if you rent, you may get out from under a little bit. You may be somewhat safe, but if you own a home,
yeah, your information's available. But you can.
I mean, you can still find it.
Well, you can get your information removed from those sources too.
Yeah, I mean, it's just
even from Google Maps. What is that thing called with the Street View?
Yeah.
Police officers across the country have the ability to get in touch with Google Street View and have their addresses blocked by, blurring out the entire structure. The thing is, though, that identifies, that structure is definitely a cop's house, and all you got to do is look at the house next to it.
Right.
So get the address. So it's really pointless.
Yeah, but
You just don't know what the house looks like from the picture. That's it. You can get the address very easily. Just go to the next house. It's like, oh, that one's the other number. So,
yeah, it's a damn shame, man.
Yeah.
That's happened, and I don't know. I'd sue the department for personal protection.
Yes.
Don't give me a settlement. I don't want your money. I don't care about it. Just keep your money. Give me personal protection so I can keep going to work. So you guys watch my family while I'm at work. Yeah. It's a huge fucking oversight. Whoever leaked that it wasn't a leak. It was purposefully handed out when a public records request of that nature
should have been denied.
Should have been denied. That's not so you make a public records request of something that's sensitive just because it's the Patriot Act or whatever you want to whatever statute you want to climb on.
It was a state law that he used.
It's subject to the actual data that contains herein. So why do you need okay, go in front of court and tell me why in front of a judge. Why do you need these guys? And now I'd investigate you. Because why do you need to know who these people are?
That's a slippery slope, though. So I mean, I'm just saying, like playing devil's advocate here. I agree.
Yeah, of course. Who are you
bastard
and why?
being a bastard about this shit.
Who are you and why?
So, doing an open records request and then questioning the citizen why they need the information because it's available. That's the only reason I need.
Yeah, but it's
because I have a right to it.
It should be sensitive information.
I agree.
It should be.
That especially that right there.
It may have not been classified as sensitive information.
It should have been. Yeah, it should have been sensitive information. It should have been classified in some way, at least at the state level.
So I know you're being devil's advocate on it, and that's fine. And but I think that Hamid Khan also said that he requested it and it was given to him.
Mm-hmm.
So
either he requested it or somebody else did and gave it to Hamid Khan. I really don't know the details.
Right.
But yeah, that's what happened. The information was requested by an open records request, and it was given.
It was willfully given.
Now Hamid Khan is malicious. He wants to destroy the LAPD. He wants. Mm-hmm. He is a police abolitionist. Mm-hmm. He wants the LAPD gone completely.
Mm-hmm.
So his actions are malicious in intent.
Of course.
Now
he won't go back to Pakistan though, or wherever the hell he's from.
I don't know where the hell he's from.
I bet you he won't go back there. How about you go ask the Pakistani police, see what they think of.
Yeah, I want the information.
I want the information on all your officers. I see what they tell you. Go over there, see what they tell you.
Pakistani jail.
It's just come on, man. But yeah, that's so that happened. They're dealing with that. That's a nonsense. And flash news out of Ukraine, bro.
You getting into something just now,
dude? Hot off the press. This fucking groundbreaking shit, bro.
Now you're full of shit.
Groundbreaking shit.
There's too much build up. You're full of crap.
Oh, dude, you got a seatbelt on that chair, man? You better fucking.
You got a tongue in that mouth? Come on, man.
Yeah, dude. Putin was invited to a country where he's legally obliged to be executed, his arrest warrant executed on.
Which country?
Serious. That's serious. Oh my god.
Which country?
It's oh man. Let's see. Fucking. It was several. Czech Republic. And what was the other country? It was
I just heard Putin clicked news. Hungary says it would not arrest Putin if he entered the country.
In Hungary, yeah.
What?
Yeah, okay. I got another one. From Russia, too. Now, this could change the outcome of this war in more ways than one. the technology that's about to be fielded by the Russians hasn't been seen in
You
warfare.
talking about the T-55s?
No.
No.
Even something more deadly than T-55s. Warfare never seen anything like this. Putin hired Steven Seagal to train his men in hand-to-hand combat.
Shut up. That's not true.
Russia mocked over Steven Seagal's training
Shut the
of their
fuck
soldiers.
up, dude.
It's been reported by Russia. It recruited Steven Seagal to teach martial arts to his soldiers. The rumor has it the Seagal-style running technique will be included in his training.
Babylon
Russia,
B?
No.
Is Babylon B or Duffel Block?
No. No, bro. It will be included in their training. Russian soldiers will now be able to run away from their positions in weird hand motions.
What's that from?
It's from the Ukraine, man. The Defense Ministry of Ukraine.
Oh, they're posting troll shit again.
They're
Yeah.
trolling.
It's pretty good.
Oh, fuck. I mean, it's not wrong. Steven Seagal is down there.
He's
so,
a Russian citizen.
Yeah, he's down there. So he's probably training these dudes in how to fight from a seated position.
Oh, my God.
Well, like,
His Aikido thing.
yeah, from a chair now, because
Is that what he's doing?
yeah, bro, you ain't seen his damn movies. Like, I mean, not his movie, but just some of the breakdowns, bro. It's the dog shit, bro.
Is he still making movies?
Yes,
Jesus.
yes, he's got a company, man.
Oh, he's making his own.
Yeah, he's
put
making
himself
his
in front
own.
of the camera.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro.
Should have quit a long time ago.
Dude, you can't stop, won't stop. That dude. This fucking, he's on autopilot, bro. Just fucking.
I can't remember what the last respectable movie he had was.
The first one?
Which was what?
Above the Law.
What was that one where he's like, God, that wasn't even a good movie. It just had Tommy Lee Jones in it.
Under
Saved
Siege?
it. That was it, Under Siege, yeah.
Yeah.
Tommy Lee Jones saved that movie because Seagal. Terrible. Makes me wonder how the hell he became an actor in the first place. They had to have known. He's shit.
I mean, dude. Fuck, man. Fuck that guy. That guy's a fucking weirdo. It's just fucking.
Were you trying to like?
Bro, like I'm
defend him a little
trying.
bit?
Yeah, a little bit. I just can't fucking. I can't find that goddamn thing to fucking that's good about this dude.
He's probably a nice guy. I don't know.
No, he's not. He's not
He's not a
fucking
nice guy.
He's a piece of shit, bro.
I've never met him.
He's a piece of shit, bro. This dude, fuck, man.
Oh,
He's garbage, bro. Like, I'm telling you, man.
It's funny you're trying to look for something nice to say about it.
I remember fucking bullshit. So I was a fucking karate point fighter for a long time, man, and out of Puerto Rico. And fucking some of my friends that were down there with me, I was not good. So let's just get that out in the open. I was fucking slow as shit, but we still traveled and we still did things. And there's a major tournament. I don't know if it's every year or whatever, but put together by Paul Mitchell. It's called Paul Mitchell Classic, and it's like a fucking huge point tournament. And but in any case, I think one year they put out an invite to like these martial artists of note to kind of be judges.
He's a fucking vegetarian.
Whatever. Yeah, impossible.
Sorry to interrupt us.
There's no way. There's not that. How much fat is in a carrot?
I'm not even gonna look that up.
Yeah, there's no way. Unless his vegetables are made out of ice cream. You know what the fuck's he eating? Come on, man. There ain't no way. But I mean, he fucking man, dude. Fuck that guy. That guy's fucking trash. He is fucking trash. Bunch of kids wanted to see him. He fucking whatever. He fucking never went. But in any case, dude, there's a fucking channel. There's a channel on YouTube that's dedicated themselves to just fucking trashing Steven Seagal and all his bullshit movies. So if you look up Space Ice on YouTube, shout out to fucking Space Ice, whoever the fuck you are. You have provided me with hours of laughing till I fall on my face entertainment by trashing Steven Seagal and his crap fucking attempts at making a movie. I mean, they so Space Ice, he has about 229 subscribers, 229,000 subscribers. A little over 90 videos and whatnot, but they're all very well done breakdowns with commentary on all of his shit fucking library of movies. 'Cause it's, bro, that guy. So they've even found, so he was a cop, apparently, like a reserve police officer.
Who, Seagal?
Yes.
He's a cop now, isn't he?
Yeah. So he did like 2 seasons of that fucking
Like
series,
reserve
Lawman.
sheriff, yeah.
Lawman.
Oh my god.
So he did 2 seasons of that nonsense. Freaking bamboozled this fucking sheriff's office to freaking let him film, and then, I mean, then he trained them in like pistol
Aikido.
shooting and
Oh, really?
Aikido and whatever, because they, you know. So
I found out where he got to start.
where?
He was a choreographer for Sean Connery in James Bond, Never Say Never Again.
Did he
was
break his
teaching-
wrist?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I haven't read that far.
Yeah.
But he taught Sean Connery a bit of Aikido because there were scenes in that movie where he had to like toss people and shit. So they wanted to do it safely, so they used Aikido. That's how you got to start in Hollywood. That's how you got to start in movies. He already knew Aikido, so he taught Sean Connery Aikido for James Bond. That's it.
He fucking created a monster.
Broke his arm. Yeah, broke his wrist. on that.
Broke his wrist in that movie. So, yeah, that's how fucking competent he is.
Yeah, that's
Fucking dumbass. You break my fucking wrist in a practice, I'll come back from my truck. I'm gonna go to my truck, come back. Fucking, we're gonna see. We're gonna see what's what. Fucking try to Aikido these freaking 9mm power bellums. You know, I mean, come on, man. This is that guy. That guy's trash, man. But he's out. He's
every
over
time I
there.
see Seagal doing like an Aikido demonstration, it just seems like the all the bullshito videos.
Yeah.
It's just choreographed. People are going along with
So-
what he's doing, and they're just falling or tumbling away
So that's the thing. So
on minimal movement.
So
Get the fuck out.
So the thing is that so I've done demonstrations like that where you're getting tossed or whatever, or somebody's doing a wrist lock and
Sure, you'll figure it out.
yeah, I will.
What choice do you have?
I will. Yeah, no. So the camera, we took a break. All right, so fuck. You like this Steven Seagal podcasting, bro?
Kiss
Come on,
my
man.
ass.
Yeah, fucking. God, you suck. Anyway. So, like I was saying, I've done demonstrations like that where fucking you gotta get thrown around. If you don't go with it, 2 things are gonna happen. One, it's gonna look awkward as fuck, which is the worst possible outcome. The second being you get hurt. It's better that you get hurt than look awkward as fuck in front of a bunch of people, because it just doesn't quite work that way. When you throw somebody like that, it's, you know, you gotta go with it. You, as the person being thrown, gotta go with it. A lot of the times they were like, okay, well, there's a lot of theater, you know, because they smack the ground, like, and all this other shit. It's like, well,
So I get that when you're doing like a full movement, you're doing like a large range of motion movement, like you're actually grabbing somebody's hip and shoulder and actually moving them, their entire body. But when you're doing a movement like that, fuck off.
yeah.
And it's literally like that, and they go flip around. Come on.
Yeah, so there's an exaggeration to it. There's some theater to it that I acknowledge. There is a lot of that. Another thing is that those techniques are highly improbable
Right.
when it comes to actually pulling it off.
Yeah.
Because they involve you being in a tense situation as is when somebody's attacking you, and then you going against the rules of what's going on in your body with high stress situations and executing fine motor skill tactics like grabbing little things and twisting fucking fingers and doing it. Look, man, in a stressful situation like that, big bold movements is why people that know how to throw hands usually succeed. It's why jiu-jitsu guys, judo guys, you know, they have a high degree of success in that kind of area because all their moves are big, bold moves that lead to something, either submission or control or whatever. But when you're talking about Aikido, you're talking about catching a punch, catching it, twisting it, and then doing a reverse of the wrist lock that you just did to toss this. You have any idea how much dexterity it takes for you to catch a punch?
No idea.
Because you wouldn't fucking try it. Because it's dumb. You wouldn't fucking try it. You wouldn't try to catch a punch.
Well, listening to Rogan comment on the same thing about Aikido. I never looked into Aikido. I'm just going by what he said. Aikido was apparently developed for unarmed combat against people with swords.
So there's a lot of deflections, and a lot of just using that person's momentum against them and pushing them away. There's a lot of merit to those kind of moves. But there's a lot of moves in Aikido that are very fine motor skill stuff. This is not gonna fuck.
That's the thing. I can see Aikido as a true martial art. Like it's an art, I mean, but not a practical combat skill.
No, it's if anything, the best thing you can get out of Aikido is to get the fuck out of the way of somebody throwing fisticuffs at you. I guess you'll. I mean.
Maybe.
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, it's but he's training them Russian troops over there. Once he gets done with that training, the Ukrainians are in for it. They don't even know what's coming.
Yeah.
They have all these dudes running at them.
It's weird, awkward run. Yeah.
Oh yeah, bro. That flat-footed, freaking floppy hands running, dude. It's just terrifying.
I can't remember the last time I saw a Seagal movie. I wouldn't even know what it was.
Dude, I tried the other day.
Why?
Why? Because they're shit. It's like, they're shit. I was drunk. It's nothing better when you're shit-faced. Watch a shitty movie. It's kind of like, you know, you're not going to get laid. It's not going to happen. You know, it's just, ship has sailed. It's fucking 2 a.m. You're sitting there wasted in your underwear. You're like, I guess, yeah, I'll watch some Steven Seagal. Fuck, man, I couldn't. Not even in that state. But yeah, it's then we got the protests in France that are freaking getting out of control. But I don't care about France. Just.
Not really.
They moved the retirement age 2 years over there from like, what was it, 62
to 64,
62
I think it
to
was.
64, and they're burning the country now, and I'm like, oh, whatever, bro.
And that's the thing, we were talking about that earlier. I don't think that's the reason that they're protesting. I think the reason they're protesting is how that was done, not that it was done.
Yeah, it's tomatoes. I don't really give a shit.
I think the president of France just made it happen without going through their parliamentary system, whatever that happens to be.
Yeah. But yeah, apparently they're so yes or no, U.S. politicians are grilling the bosses of TikTok, and this is going supernova in there, man.
Nothing's gonna come of it.
Nah, of course not.
What are they gonna do?
Nothing. They're not making laws.
Well, one, TikTok didn't do anything illegal. They're trying to advocate for their app to be put.
For their app.
No. If Congress sticks to their guns, the answer is still going to be no. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, well.
I don't even know why they're making a show of this. I think it's one of the most popular apps in the country. I guess that's the only reason, but yeah.
Bah. Who cares?
What else you got?
Well,
Anything?
No, I'm scouring over here to see what it, but it's slim pickings, man. More stuff on the Capitol riots, whatever. Stuff that you already covered. And I guess Joe Biden put a bunch of medals on people the other day.
Oh yeah, he gave what's her name like an arts medal or something.
I don't know. It's just nothing. It's worthless.
Yeah.
Whatever Biden put on anybody's neck is worthless. This is
there's one I disagree with.
Medal of Honor.
Yeah, because he did recently put a Medal of Honor around a colonel's neck. He was Special Forces during Vietnam. He was one of the first black officers in Special Operations. And he did a lot of crazy, harrowing shit in Vietnam, and he finally got his Medal of Honor. So, and he's deserved it for like 50 fucking years. So
that's badass.
Kudos.
Let's see what was that gentleman's name?
That Biden was able to stand upright for that entire thing.
He probably checked his watch a bunch of times.
Wouldn't doubt it.
Let's see. Yeah, the most. Yeah, but then of course there was a bunch of.
Did you find the guy's name?
There's a. I'm looking at the database here. Let's see. I like to look at it in list.
I believe it's Colonel Paris Davis. I believe. Yeah, it's Paris Davis.
No kidding.
The actions 18 June 1965 during the Vietnam War. He's twice previously nominated for the Medal of Honor. Both times the paperwork relating to his nomination disappeared.
Imagine that.
Probably subject of racism, as he was a black officer in Special Forces. Back then, I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, there was that, and there's the Army changed put out some new ads for recruiting.
What now?
Well, I mean, they're not lesbians anymore. So
Yes, they are.
I mean, they're not like in cartoon form.
Oh. Real lesbians.
Maybe. I don't know. It's pretty.
I much prefer real lesbians.
So one of them was pretty neat, because I'm not sure if the content of what he was saying was neat. It was just kind of like this, that, and the third, and whatever. He's just talking, narrating why he should join and the merits of the military. Like, we've always been force for good and all this other stuff. Whatever. His message was kind of lost on me, but I didn't really pay too much attention. And I was doing quite a bit of drinking when that happened, so it's kind of like, what's he saying? But he was kind of like walking through battlefields of the past, like, and it just the cinematography of it was pretty decent.
Did it make you want to enlist again?
Nah, fuck no. I'll never forget slamming into the earth at freaking 25 miles an hour from the sky, freaking for 6 fucking years. I'll never forget that. I'll forget everything else I have in between, but you know what I mean? Like, nah, man, I'm not going back. That ship has sailed. So, but yeah, it was. If I were to choose one ad to make me join, like between that one and my mom's,
like 2 moms,
blah blah blah, and this
inspired me to enlist,
inspired me to whatever, yada yada. I choose this one that came out. You know what I mean? They're kind of like, I think General Milley found the white rage he's been looking for. He may have found it finally, so he's I think it was inside a Chinese balloon. So when
Is that what happened?
so when they knock it over, it just like cracked
the
it
gas
open.
inflating it?
There's the white rage I've been looking for. Now they're now new commercials and it's all good now. So you can go back to business, man. Because I mean, what the fuck is the Army doing woke shit for, man? Just for the love of Christ.
I've been trying to figure
man.
that out. Well, I actually haven't been trying to figure it out. I've stopped giving a shit. But
yeah, exactly. I mean, well, it's like fuck, man. Just get with it, man. Just
I don't understand why.
What do you?
It's a military.
Like the Army.
It's a military.
Yeah.
Why is it pretending to be anything else? Why is there any ad saying that this is anything other than a fucking army? It's an army.
Everybody wants to be the Air Force, man.
Join the Air Force. Who cares? They used to be Army too.
Yeah. Well, they're almost a corporation, and I get, and, you know, that's fine. Let them do that. As long as the bombs don't stop, you know, we're good. Fine by me. But you gotta fight wars, man. Gives a shit how many moms you got.
Right.
Like it don't fucking matter. None of that matters.
That was a pretty insulting commercial too, because that story. Oh, my two moms, and they were gay rights advocates, and I went to college and I learned this woke bullshit, and then I joined the Army because of some misconception about fighting for freedom. It's like, congratulations, you came from like the top fucking like 1% of American culture and joined the Army, and probably realized your mistake pretty damn quick before they picked your pretty ass for this fucking movie. While the guys I fucking served with and were in a turret with are all from the bottom 1% of this American society. All these motherfuckers are broke. They're from Appalachian Mountains. They're from inner cities. They're from rural areas. They have no money. They didn't come from any money. This is the only way they can make more than $100 a month. They're lucky they had a mom. I was fortunate I had both parents in the household.
Yeah, same here. I mean, it's
a lot of these guys grew up fucked up, and the military was their only way out.
They were of all colors.
Yeah.
Like I served
white
with
kids, black kids, Hispanic kids, Asian kids, all of them. Yeah.
And we had guys that came from money, and we had guys that
a few.
was just poor.
There were a couple. There were very, very few. In my basic training cycle, I think there were like 2 or 3 guys total that came from anything more than $50,000 a year.
Right. A lot of them were pretty poor. Yeah. You know, if I recall correctly. It's just I just don't see why they focus so much on this woke stuff to begin with.
It's popular is the only reason I can think of.
Yeah, but it was definitely proven otherwise by their recruiting numbers.
Oh yeah, it took a nosedive.
It took such a nosedive that they were like giving recruiting incentives to regular ass soldiers for talking people into coming in. Yeah, like
referral incentives.
Like a WoW subscription, bro. like if I get you to join me, I mean, and that's always been a thing because the buddy system was implemented a long time ago, so that's not something strange. The referral incentives, like you could get, like if I bring my buddy in, I come in as an E2.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So
that's what it was when I enlisted. Yeah. So if you got somebody to enlist with you in the buddy program,
you get rank right off the bat. So you get.
You don't get a bonus. You just get.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So that's always been.
So I think the difference in pay between E1 and E2 is like $100 a month.
I don't remember, man. It was
something like that.
It was something like that. It was just it was crap.
Yeah.
But
I think what my first Army paycheck, I think it was maybe $1,300 a month, $1,400 a month.
It had to have been somewhere in there. I mean,
it was like $600 or $700 every 2 weeks.
I know I got paid a little bit more because I was parachute, but you know.
Well, during basic, or were you paid parachute during basic?
No, you know, like parachute paid till after you freaking.
Right. Well, I figured you were on a contract or something.
Yeah,
so.
No, I was on contract.
No, I mean for like parachute contract and get parachute. No.
No, I'm fairly certain I didn't get parachute pay because you got to be parachute qualified and be current. So you got to keep up with jumping. So you got to be on status to get paid parachute pay.
You don't remember how much you were paid before you were parachute qualified?
I think in '98, I think it was like.
Does that have been just your basic training cycle?
Yeah, it couldn't have been any more than $1,300 a month.
Yeah, that's fine.
So
that's about what I remember getting paid.
I think it was close to like $600 or somewhere in there every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It was
That's
shit.
about what I got paid. Yeah.
It was shit.
And I had no special qualifications. Armor's not an extra thing. So.
But I had the extra couple hundred for parachute pay once I got into airborne status. But it's just, I don't know, man. Like they started pushing that stuff into into people, like there's soldiers.
It wasn't just the Army either. I remember the Navy coming out with like pronoun training. Yep,
I remember that. That was a blurb in the news. How about?
I don't think it was a recruiting thing, but
no, it was like
an actual training thing.
They
for
were
active.
Yeah, they were
personnel.
fielding the not calling ranks and stuff, and then
seamen.
Yeah, something happened with the word master in front of ranks.
Master Chief Petty Officer.
People were like, master. It's like they're comparing.
That's a Navy tradition.
It's a slavery now and all this other shit. Like it got weird. Like it got real weird. I guarantee you, no black people was like, huh? They call them Master Chiefs? Oh hell no, not a one.
No.
It was just some generic shit that
It's a Navy tradition.
They started doing on their own and whatever.
Chiefs, Master Chief. Or Senior Chief, then Master Chief.
Yeah, it's dumb, but that's what happens when there's no wars. So
Got nothing else to bitch about.
Nothing else to bitch about, so they start fucking eating each other's fucking tail and dreaming up nonsense to fucking latch onto.
It was fun to watch at first.
Yeah, then the women got in the infantry and it was like fucking like, oh man, there's women in the infantry, why? They can't fucking do the job. It's like, oh my god, fine, whatever.
I would love somebody to like hit up our channel and say, you don't know. We do know. And
we do know for a fact.
Yeah. The female body cannot withstand that crap.
For a fact.
And it shouldn't. Most male bodies can't withstand that crap, and it shouldn't, because it's ridiculous work.
For a fact. And they're like, oh my god, like how is that? How are you...
Like, it goes down to bone structure. It's not...
Yes.
It's not whether you have a penis or a vagina. It's whether you have the right pelvis. It's... Our pelvises are solid. The female pelvis is split at the front.
Like...
That's why a female body cannot handle a fucking 24, 25, 30 mile ruck march with an 80-pound pack. Can't handle it because your hips can't handle it. The male hips can handle it just because they're solid. That's it. That's the only real physical difference. It's bone structure.
I mean, muscle density probably.
Yeah, muscle density, absolutely. Because, I mean, I don't know, because I was never in an infantry. I'm not an infantryman. Never was. So I don't know if, like, you do rucks for qualifications on anything, or you do rucks just for bragging rights. I have no idea.
Both.
Now, okay. So if there are women in the infantry, and I haven't talked to any female infantrymen. I haven't talked to any female grunts. Do they carry lighter packs because they're chicks? Because they do less of a PT test because they're chicks. So if they're doing a ruck march for qualification or for time or for whatever, wouldn't they be allowed to carry a lighter ruck because they're chicks?
I don't know. I think it depends on how hot they are.
I think how hot they are would depend whether they have to do it or not at all. I've seen that before.
Well, I haven't, because when I was in and throughout my career, there were no chicks in the infantry.
I mean, I've seen that in life.
So
there were no chicks in armor when I was in either. So,
but it's impossible. Like, so the thing is that it's an integrity thing for me. That it's not a physiological. The biology aspect of it feeds into the integrity thing. You accepted the blue cord. Let's say you went even further, went to Ranger School, got your tag. Know for a fact that both of those awards that you're now wear have been earned Sure, you earned them on an adjusted scale. And now you are leading men in trying to in going to possibly execute the task that you earned in an adjusted scale in a real world unadjusted environment. And you don't have enough integrity to say that's not fair and I can't do this. You took the blue cord, you took the ranger tab, you took the commission, and you took that flag from that outgoing commander.
You
Fuck you.
sound like you're talking about somebody specific.
Fuck you. Yeah, looking at you. So, it's an integrity thing. Because I know for a fact that when the fucking bubble goes, you ain't gonna be able to waddle into the aircraft with the crap that we had to carry, let alone fucking waddle your way out of the door safely, let alone dereg, mount up your shit, and hit objectives with that shit on your back. This week was the anniversary of the invasion into Iraq for our guys. Yep. March 20th, March 22 for some of us, some of the guys that were a couple days behind because of the cancellation of the airborne drop into Baghdad. Got a lot of social media freaking coming in, a lot of guys, a lot of people, a lot of memories, a lot of sad ones, a lot of funny ones, a lot of all that other stuff. So in light of that, we know that the only way a female could have undertaken that campaign, the way we carried it out, would have been in the back of fucking somebody's truck. The whole time. Because there ain't no way they would have been able to freaking stomach some of the bullshit that we had to do. The street to street, house to house fighting with hundreds of pounds of gear, day in, day out, night in, night out, with no fob. Because we got there before there were any fobs. There was no fucking Baghdad International VBC complex. There was no fucking Fob Fallujah. There was no Anaconda. None of those fucking bases existed. We're pushing the front lines as we went. Liberating cities, towns, bridges, whatever we came across. Fighting uniformed and ununiformed combatants. And dealing with the civilians that live in the city. It was a fucking terrible fucking time. I don't wish that bullshit on anybody. I'm glad I lived through it though. I'm glad I learned a lot from that year. But I know for a fact, one of the things that I learned is that ain't no fucking way a woman can do my job. And those are the guys that saw me, that were in combat with me, that were there. You guys know how much bullshit we fucking dealt with collectively. And you can't possibly place a woman in that fucking platoon, squad, company, battalion, etc. and watch her perform that. It's not possible. It's not possible. Not possible. So there are women out there now that hold the rank, hold the quals, and have a guide on, and can't do what me and my guys had to do back then. It's impossible. So how are you going to lead when you can't make it? Because it's impossible for you to make it. It is impossible for you to make it. You're going to be put in that situation. You think that as a female airborne infantry fucking captain, that they're just going to fucking roll the carpet for you? You're fucking anywhere from 600, 800 feet above ground level or enemy fucking territory, behind enemy lines. You're gonna drop in the middle of the night under fucking anti-aircraft fire, possibly, to fucking do an airfield seizure, mass attack with the 82nd Airborne or fucking 25th Infantry or fucking the guys out of fucking Vicenza, fucking whoever. And you're gonna expand the airhead with your grunts? You're not gonna make it. You barely be able to make it into the aircraft with the equipment. What are you gonna door bundle your shit? You're gonna throw all your shit? You're just gonna chase it in the sky because you can't fucking walk with it? You're gonna strap you to a Humvee and heavy drop you? how are you going to make it? You just can't make it into the fight, let alone carry on the fight and lead men into the fight. It's not possible. But they're there.